Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
In 2011, our Belize Watch team was in Hopkins village in the Stann district. Belize Watch Revisited looks back at the visit in which we spoke with several villagers. We will have that for you after we hear from our partners, Honorable Kevin Bernard and DeBarry.
In a town where dreams meet reality, where progress takes center stage, a transformation is underway. Get ready to experience a journey like no other. Introducing the long-awaited paving of Santa Familia Street and Tangerine Street. The wait is over and the future is here. Works have commenced and there's no stopping now. Under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Kevin Bernard, Orange Walk Town East is witnessing an incredible transformation. Honorable Kevin Bernard, a true champion of progress, has made it his mission to enhance the lives of the community he serves. And now, in partnership with the Orange Walk Town Council and the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, this dream is becoming a reality. This partnership signifies a commitment to excellence, a commitment to the people. Together, they are paving the way for a brighter future, creating infrastructure that will stand the test of time. Imagine smooth, well-lit streets designed to connect communities, businesses, and families. Santa Familia Street and Tangerine Street will become the vibrant arteries of Orange Walk Town East, pulsating with life and opportunity. No longer will we face the challenges of potholes and uneven surfaces. Our town is evolving with the Honorable Kevin Bernard leading the charge. More incredible projects are on the horizon. From improved infrastructure to innovative community initiatives, the future of Orange Walk East constituency is looking brighter than ever before. Moving the East forward with Kevin Bernard. Get ready for a new era of growth and improvement. Together, we are building a better future for all. Orange Walk Town, where dreams become a reality.
We are DeBarry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange Rock, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. DeBarry. Get more? Feel less.
Okay, we have been introduced to Mr. Laureano Arana, and we're inside his little shop here in Hopkins. And Mr. Arana, I'm told, is one of the oldest living residents in Hopkins, right? But Mr. Laureano, you don't look that old, man. How old are you?
87.
87?
Yeah.
What do you do for keep so fit, man?
Well, I exercise every day, every morning. But I couldn't walk healthy, but I exercise on the bed, I sit down and do my little exercising.
Now, you have been in Hopkins, you were born here in Hopkins, or where were you born?
Oh, well, I was born in a Spanish lookout in Cairo district.
Spanish lookout?
Uh-huh.
Okay. How did you come to Hopkins?
Well, according to our parents, they belong to this area here, so they are, anyhow, they come back home from when they were working at the Mahogany Bank, So, Newtown, they resided at Newtown first for a good while, and after the devastation of hurricane, and we moved from Newtown to here.
Okay.
So I've been living here for a good while, and from 1962, 1942, we were transferred from Newtown to here after the hurricane. So I am one of the pioneers of this village.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I'm the eldest person at present in this village.
How did this village get started?
Well, after the hurricane in 1942, there was a priest named Philip B. Marine who asked permission that we to transfer from Newtown to this place, to this area here. Well, afterwards we call it Hopkins.
Okay, but tell me before you continue, tell me how far is Newtown from where we are in Hopkins?
I could hardly say about 2.5 miles.
Okay, it will be to 2.5 miles north of where we are. Or?
North of where we are now.
Okay. So you transferred from Newtown to Hopkins,
To Hopkins,
on
yeah.
the request of Father Marin.
Father Marine, yeah.
But what was here when you are all transferred? Was there anybody here before?
Yeah, there were some people from Honduras who were attracted by some Spaniards in Honduras. They came from Honduras and stayed here before we came to Hopkins.
Well, how many people you found here when you got here in 1942?
At least about 6.
Only 6.
Only 6.
Uh-huh. Who were these people here? Did you get their names and so? Do you remember the names?
I remember. Well, I could. Olga Flores is one of the wife of the Mr. I really forgot the man name. But anyway, and Miss Flores and his husband, and about 5 children.
Okay.
Flores.
So you were telling me about Miss Flores. When you came here, you found Miss Flores.
Miss Flores, yeah.
They
were
and
here.
their 5 children, and that was it.
Yeah, they were here about 3 years before we came to Hopkins. Before we transferred to Hopkins, they were here for 3 years before us. Yeah.
What did the place look like when you first saw it? What came to your mind? Yeah, Hopkins. Hopkins.
Well, you mean to say how it looks?
Yeah, how it looked when you first saw it. The first time you saw it.
I don't know. Oh, bush.
Lone bush, no?
Lone bush. Lone bush. Almost like forest. Plenty trees around and like that, you know. And we established and we filed them and we tamed the place. So we become now comfortable in Hopkins now.
Okay. What grabbed your attention most when you came to Hopkins? What,
Well, I feel
the sea? Was it the sea or was it the, the bush? What was it?
Yes, we there along the beach, along the sea. Well, everybody love it.
Now, how many of you moved from Newtown to Hopkins back in 1942?
Maybe about I could suggest about 400 people.
400 people moved from Newtown?
From Newtown to here,
and
including the children and the school children, yes.
And established the village?
And established the village.
With the guidance from Father Marin? Or?
From Father Marine, yeah, from Father Marine. Reverend Father Marine.
Who were the first leaders that you will remember in the community?
Well, we have leaders, alcaldes. I believe. Let me figure. The alcalde who was here, I think, was Mr. Nunes. Not Nunes. It was Valentin Martinez.
Valentin Martinez was the first alcalde?
Martinez, yes. He was the alcalde when we came to Hopkins.
Okay.
And he served as alcalde here for about 3 years. Before he was before he elected another alcalde there.
Now 400 of you moved from Newtown to Hopkins, Newtown, which is 2.5 miles away. What became of Newtown when you moved out of Newtown? What happened there?
He was devastated. The place was
the hurricane had devastated it.
The hurricane was devastated. So we
there was a need to...
Yeah, well, we're not comfort to go back to and stay there because the place was ruined.
Okay, so I'm getting it now that after the 1942 hurricane, which devastated Newtown where you lived, the families decided to, along with the guidance of Father Marin, decided to move 2.5 miles south
south of Newtown.
And founded what is today's village of Hopkins.
Yeah.
Now, 400 tell me about those early days. What you remember from those early days in when Hopkins was being built?
In Newtown. I would give you the explanation first.
Okay, tell me about Newtown first. That's a good idea. Tell me about Newtown
first.
first.
About our livelihood in Newtown.
Tell me about Newtown first.
We when we were in Newtown, our burying ground was over here.
Oh, where Hopkins is?
Yeah,
Okay.
where but the bar mouth there, where the establishment of those tourists over there. We have our burying ground there. Okay. So we came from Newtown to bury over that places. So, but we have two burying ground in Newtown for children. For children. Well, we call it one name Mulwanda and one name Sairi.
So the children weren't buried in the same burial ground like the adults?
We don't bury children among the people here in those days. We bury children among themselves in Newtown.
Okay.
So we came from Newtown with the big people to bury here in this place.
Okay.
So from there now, after we came here, well, we use the same burying ground in the same area to bury our deceased people.
After the hurricane?
After the hurricane, up to now.
Okay.
Up to now, we're still using the
Same burial ground?
Burying ground, yeah. Then after that, well, that's the way we live here. And after we stayed here for a good while, I became some sort of politician.
Oh, yeah, you did?
Yeah.
Wow. So you became a politician then?
I became a politician.
How old were you when you became a politician? When you moved here and when you became a politician?
I was about 25 years.
Okay.
Then really, we, well, I joined the PUP. I was a PUP from the beginning of PUP then. Because the existence of the politics, that was around in 1950.
1950. So you joined the People's Committee in 1950?
Yeah. I organized People's Committee here in Hopkins Village.
Okay.
Yeah. I was the organizer of People's Committee here in Village.
But by that time, 1950, people had already built their houses and
thatch houses.
Mostly thatch houses, right?
Not mostly, all
thatch houses.
The only place where built materials, fine lumber, was the school.
So you had on the school with pine lumber and everything else was thatch houses for the 400 odd people and children that were here.
Every house is here was built of rough material, bush materials, in other words.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, we noticed that things should be go better than we were living in Newtown. As we get into politics, well, we fight. We fight hard to motivate the village to a proper living condition. So I am the one, and late John Ramirez fight for that same road.
Okay.
The feeder road come over to Hopkins.
When was that feeder road built?
That 1971.
So you were still active in politics in 1971?
But before that, 1969, I applied for a job with the government. Where I was interviewed. Among the 18 candidates, I was the one who was chosen. And I worked with the government as a public officer from 1969 to 1977.
What type of work you did?
Rural environmental sanitation program with the UNICEF.
No, when you moved to Hopkins, you moved with your parents, I take it.
Yeah, well, my parents, yeah. Remember, yeah, along with my parents, along with my parents, and at that time, I don't have children yet.
Yeah, that's what I was leading to ask you. When did you start a family of your own?
I don't have children. I was a lone ranger.
So you
A brave man.
never did start a family?
No. I started my family around 1945.
Okay.
Yeah, 1945.
That was 3 years
But
after
I-
moving here.
Yeah, but I traveled from here to Mexico.
Uh-huh.
I was in Mexico for about a good while.
Mhm.
There I learned to speak Spanish
Okay.
and things like that.
Uh-huh.
So I can speak 3 languages. One of the English and Creole there, Garifuna and Spanish.
Okay. English, Garifuna, and Spanish. And of course Creole. But all of it are Creole.
Yeah.
Started your family in 1945. How many? I went to Mexico and everything. How many children do you have?
12.
Mhm.
2 died
Mhm.
already. 2 died. When they were mature, no, it's not 50 to 60 years, they died recently, about 5 to 6 years ago.
Mhm.
2 died and the balance still living.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, in the early days of Hopkins, you had to establish things like schools and churches
Yeah,
and so on. How did that come about? You already had Father Marin, of course.
Father Mine, yeah, but yes, Father Mine, after he gone from here,
What year did he leave?
well, I think, I don't quite, let me see, 1976.
Okay.
Yeah, 1976.
Mhm.
Father mine left this country to United States in St. Louis.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the school, how was the first school set up?
Well, as a Roman Catholic school,
Mhm.
well, government school.
Mhm.
It was going very nice. Only one school we used to have here. So everything was going smooth in the school. You get teachers from St. Bite, Dangriga, and now we get teachers here. Now we have our own teachers here. It belongs to Hopkins.
Okay. Now, how did the name Hopkins come about for this village?
The name Hopkins came about this village. It was same Father Marine who put the name on this village because there was a bishop, Bishop Hopkins, who died in hurricane.
In the
I
same
think-
hurricane, 42 hurricane?
No, not in 5. That was 19 something like
Was it 1931?
31 hurricane.
1931 hurricane.
They call him Bishop Hopkins.
Bishop Hopkins, yeah.
So,
I've heard that name, Bishop Hopkins.
So Father Marine gave the name of this village in respect to Father Marine. I mean Father Bishop Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see the reasoning behind it, because if Bishop Hopkins, like you're telling me, died in the 1931 hurricane, then it is obvious that there's a hurricane 11 years later, and the people from the village that was devastated came and founded this village here. And so if he was leading them, then I think it was quite appropriate that he honored Bishop Hopkins in naming the village Hopkins.
Yes, that's correct. Mhm. So after we move, well, that's the way we live here. We live here by make farming, planting our rice, corn, do our fishing, and go jobbing somewhere, like that. That's the way we used to live here in this village.
What were some of the original family names that settled back in 1942 that you can recall?
The original name of
Some of the names, some of the old names that settled, that moved across along with yourself.
well, like I mentioned, my mother, Miss Leona Arana, and same Coleman
Lozana.
father, yes, but he was born here, you know.
Okay.
And his wife, and one child, and my grandmother also. Well, many people, because there was not life lasting hurricane in Newtown.
Oh, so
Except-
nobody died in Newtown.
No, nobody died.
But you said you were coming to bury the dead here.
Yeah, we come to bury the dead here.
But but it wasn't the dead from the hurricane you were
No,
talking
there was
about.
no death in the hurricane 1942.
Okay, so it wasn't really to bury the dead from the hurricane, because I understood earlier when you were talking that you had come to bury the dead from the hurricane here as well. But you're saying no one died, but the area was the burial ground for adults.
Yeah,
the
for adults, yes.
Uh-huh.
And well, 1942 hurricane, no, 1940, 61 or 62 hurricane.
Hattie was 1961.
Two people died in the hurricane.
In Hopkins.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's my grandfather, and one the same lady I told you that she was the first one who stayed here in Hopkins. We found her in Hopkins.
Okay.
They
So
were-
she
they were
died
the-
in the hurricane.
They were
61
they were
hurricane.
the only two who died in the hurricane.
Okay. Now, earlier on, when you were talking to me about your life, you were telling me that you had started, you were a public officer, and you worked as a public officer up until 74, I think you said it was?
Yeah, 74.
74.
Yeah, 74.
And what happened after 1974?
Well, like I went to Barranco and opened a business.
Barranco.
Barranco.
Why Barranco?
My wife belongs to Barranco.
Okay.
She died 65 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was her name?
Victorina Arana.
Okay.
I married in Barranco in 1950.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So, but not during the time I was working in the government.
Uh-huh.
That was long before that.
Okay. Yeah, you started the government in 64, you told me,
Yeah,
and you
64.
worked 10 years until
No,
74.
69 I started the government.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah, so you worked 5 years at the government.
5 years, yeah. Now, I resigned. There was any more satisfaction that I love in the ruling of the department. So I quit. I went to Barranco and opened a business. But the people were so few in Barranco, they're not much. Well, I couldn't make it there. I feel that I could make it back home, and I came back home in 1977.
And you've been home in Hopkins since?
Yeah, I built home. Yeah, I built this house, the houses, after I came from Barranco.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, looking back at that early beginning in 1942 when you all moved here, and looking at Hopkins today, did you, when in those early days, ever think it would have grown so big and become this major tourism area?
No, I didn't. I didn't expect that. But I mean, we want to finalize the whole situation. I didn't expect that. When I was in Barranco, I heard that tourists want to come into this village. And I studied to myself, if I come back home, I will make more progress because the people will come into the village. So I came back and I started and work with the politics and try to develop the country along with the government. Yeah. So we built that road
Yeah, maybe told me that.
on the same field, the same road that is connect here in the villages. Well, anyway, they took action against me because I built this road,
What kind of action against building a road?
Court action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why not?
Because we never know that they never know that. Anyway, let me start it this way. When I came from Barranco, I opened a business. This is the only business here, and Martinez's business over that side. It's about quarter miles from here. At that time, when we go to Dangriga and bring goods, we have to leave for goods at the junction there by the police station. No. But anyway, I studied the idea that it is not so good that because we will never be like this anymore. We will grow old and we won't be able to do this forever. Well, I asked Mackay to write a letter to Judge Price so that we can get this road go through the village. So Judge Price answered that it is possible that we go ahead with the project. So we go ahead with the project. Well, And there we have this road built.
Mm.
So there were some coconut trees along the road. People did not like me follow those coconut trees with bulldozer, and then they take action against me.
Okay. And that
But I say, well, anyhow, they can take action against me. When Mr. Courtney sent to me to Belize, they take action, very good action. They take action against me. I and his father. I and Mr. Coleman's father.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, I went to Belize, and Courtney told me that I should not be afraid of this because this is a government project I am doing. So the case was never forward. So I was safe from this trouble. But how I do it? Because I know when we transport our goods on our back from that place there to here, it's a good distance. But more distance to the next person who live farther than me.
Yeah.
Well, that is what I saw this. Now this time the road is good for everybody. When we used to bury our deceased people, either we go by sea or we have to back them on our back to the burying ground. But now, when the machine came, when anybody gets sick, hospital is here now, you drive out to your spot, to where you live, the machine stop there, and no problem that you get out and you're quite comfortable. That's the way we used to say here. So we are safe. So if I never do that, all them big buildings would have been here. But how could they would be back those things on their back to go and build those heavy buildings down there? So it was scarce through me, all these things happened here in Hopkins.
Okay. So, so before all these roads, people used to come on Heron H and Maya Prince and then boat there?
Maya Prince, yes.
And so they used to anchor out in front of...
Yeah, I built a wharf there for a person named, for a white man named Pummels. I built a wharf there where the Heron H and Loans used to walk, lose to Black and people go from there to down south or go to Belize. Okay. Yeah. So after the hurricane smashed off everything, but now we're using the road. Yeah.
And this little shop, when you built this little shop that you're now living off?
Now this shop now, well, it was popular. It was popular, well, I've made this good. But after the Chinese came in and they buying out everything, so I have to close down.
Okay.
So I don't have nothing to sell here.
Okay.
Because I couldn't sell anything. Because the Chinese have monopolized the whole situation. So that's the way we live here now.
So what have you done for, what you do for a living now?
Well, I do my little drawing.
You draw?
Yeah. I do my little drawing for housing and...
When you're talking about house plans and so on, right? Let's see some of those. Okay. Oops, sorry. Okay. So you have done plans for some of the houses?
All about.
All right.
Now this plan is a proposed plan for tomatoes canning factory over here.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Who's putting that up?
Where we are proposing to get this go ahead. We are getting a person from Canada to undergo this project for us.
Tomato grow good in the soil here around Hopkins?
Yes, on beach, I mean at the farmland. Tomatoes grow pretty.
Because I noticed I've seen some of the biggest crab I've ever seen in your yard.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest crabs I've ever seen anywhere, from anywhere. So this is your...
Yeah, I do plans for many people.
Okay, let me see if I can hold this up for the camera here for folks to see. Okay. So that's mainly what's your main source of income right now?
Yeah, that's it. And my children, one, two teaching One is the manager in San Pedro for a resort. And the next one, well, use my reference to sell ideal. So I made it good too.
Okay.
So that's where I live now.
Mr. Laureano, anything you'd like to tell your fellow Belizeans now that you have this chance? Any words of wisdom you'd like to give us that are still coming up?
Well, really, there are many. As I noticed that there are some young guys here who are idling, have nothing to do. Even if they have the mind to do something, there is nothing for them to do. And that is reality. We have aliens here, we have Spanish people here. I believe there's almost about 72,000 people here who are employed in this country, leaving our youth, walking the street, doing mischievousness, killing, stealing, raping, and all these things. Why? Because those boys, they don't have nothing to do. They don't have nothing to live by, no job. They go to look for a job. They ask for a job. The employer will tell them he don't have no job. When you go the next hour, employer take 2, 3, 5 Spanish people, and many of them have no papers to stay here in this country. That I prove it.
Okay. So that's
That's the failure of us.
okay. Now, how could we rectify that?
Well, it is very hard to be rectified.
I know.
Very hard to be rectified. Because I have some saving in the bank. I questioned the banker. Like today, like Friday, you go to the bank, you would never enter that bank because of so many aliens, Spanish people are lined up there to save money. And the bank collect 15 cents out of each of those people, money. How now that the government will take the people out from here? So then therefore the who encourage them, they know we the poor people. That the people who have, that the people who can afford. So they are depriving the ones who did not afford. We.
Now, you don't think that educating our young people in the proper skills needed in the various industries operating around our country would be a major step forward as well? Because that could be part of the problem, that that our people are not skilled enough.
Yeah. If we can get the chance, we will do it. Because we used to build our houses, our own. I am a carpenter, I am a constructor. We used to do those things for ourselves. We used to go fishing ourselves and catch our fishes and maintain our family. But now, my dear, it is very hard now. Everything now, the Spanish. So I can understand. So when we Belizeans charge this amount of money for this amount of work, you will never get it from employer. Because he will have 4 or 5 to do it for little or nothing. Look at Pomona. I go back. Look at Pomona. We Belizeans build Pomona and Middlesex. Pomona was a home of Gainagu and Creole. Middlesex was home of Creole and Gainagu. You find Gainagu there and Creole working at Pomona at the citrus industry. But you go there now, if you find your 2 or 3 Carib. You will never ask Spanish. Now what are you going to do to this now? You're going to improve the village this way? And they're getting the money and they send it to the home. And make the country more poor. Make the country more poor. So I don't know what to do in this case. In this case, it's very tough. We are living in a handicapped state and poverty. That is the system of our country now. And we will never cure this until something has to be changed.
I think, what about having national unity in purpose and moving towards a common goal and eliminating all the political divide that we have?
Yeah, it is good. I agree with the politics.
In eliminating the political divide,
Yeah.
or minimizing it. At least.
Yeah. But to minimize that is very difficult.
I know.
That I know. Some say that we must come together. The other parties say that they must come to us, make we work together. But if you throw stone on me, you don't expect that I will throw back that stone against you.
That's a human tendency.
Well, the very difficult is how we are going to be joined together.
But then you see, we are a nation founded on God, and when you really think about it, the Bible tells you if a man asks you for your shirt, you give him your cloak. He also told you that if somebody slap you, you give him the other cheek too, right? So meaning, not literally meaning that, but really saying to exercise patience and forgiveness, right?
Yeah.
So somewhere there has to be patience and forgiveness if we have to move this nation forward, and in order to get togetherness. And unless we are together as one people, then it will be difficult to move the country forward.
Yeah, it is very difficult because if God made us with 5 common sense. Man must choose his own ways. And with our freedom, we will have to do it according to our freedom. Right?
Yeah.
So, if anybody will tell me that you will come together, that's a big mistake. Things will get worse and worse until maybe...
You mean you're saying that national unity will make things get worse?
Definitely.
But why? Why?
As I have told you, account of the same thing. The stone that you throw on me, you must expect that I will have to throw it back to you again.
But you see, in national unity, it means that together we set goals. So we have no reason for throw stones.
Yes. We don't have. Definitely we don't have.
Yeah, when we're together...
Maybe you and me, but the others will do the same thing.
No, we have to change how they think.
Yeah, we have to change it. But without the changes, we will never. How could we change it in this era?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
It's going to take time.
Yeah.
Well, Mr. Laureano Arana, I want to thank you so much for seeing me here, and it's a pleasure to have met you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you so much.
In the second segment of our show, which originally aired in August 2011, our team spoke with Francis Lewis about some of his plans for the village. But first, a word from our partners, Honorable Kevin Bernard and DeBarry.
In a town where dreams meet reality, where progress takes center stage, a transformation is underway. Get ready to experience a journey like no other. Introducing the long-awaited paving of Santa Familia Street and Tangerine Street. The wait is over and the future is here. Works have commenced and there's no stopping now. Under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Kevin Bernard, Orange Walk Town East is witnessing an incredible transformation. Honorable Kevin Bernard, a true champion of progress, has made it his mission to enhance the lives of the community he serves. And now, in partnership with the Orange Walk Town Council and the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, this dream is becoming a reality. This partnership signifies a commitment to excellence, a commitment to the people. Together, they are paving the way for a brighter future, creating infrastructure that will stand the test of time. Imagine smooth, well-lit streets designed to connect communities, businesses, and families. Santa Familia Street and Tangerine Street will become the vibrant arteries of Orange Walk Town East, pulsating with life and opportunity. No longer will we face the challenges of potholes and uneven surfaces. Our town is evolving with the Honorable Kevin Bernard leading the charge. More incredible projects are on the horizon. From improved infrastructure to innovative community initiatives, the future of Orange Walk East constituency is looking brighter than ever before. Moving the East forward, with Kevin Bernard. Get ready for a new era of growth and improvement. Together, we are building a better future for all. Orange Walk Town, where dreams become a reality.
We are the Barry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, Sa Ignacio Cayo, Orange Rock, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. The Barry. Get more? Feel less.
Okay, moving around Hopkins, and Mr. Coleman has brought us to the home of Mr. Francis Lewis, and nice meeting you, sir. And thanks for receiving me here in your home here in Hopkins. And I'd like to get to know you better, though. Tell me, who is Mr. Francis Lewis?
Well, I am a Hopkinite.
Hopkinite.
Yes.
First time I hear that term. Hopkinite.
Yes,
All right.
Hopkinite.
Uh-huh.
And I am doing some farming. I used to work with the government as a teacher, then civil servant for 23 years with the cooperative department. And after then I retired and came home to do some farming. And this is what I am working on in my farm.
Okay. Well, let's go way back then. Were you born here in Hopkins? No, I think Hopkins was nowhere around at that time when you were born, right?
Let me see. Yes, Hopkins had just started, maybe having about 10 to 12 families at that time. Those people were from Honduras. And they came here in June of 1937.
Okay.
At that time, we have our elders, our grandparents, they were living in Newtown,
Yeah.
which is about 7 miles to 10 miles from here.
Okay.
And same year, 41, September of 41, a hurricane came and destroyed Newtown. When in that same year, some people moved to Hopkins and joined those people who were here in 1937, who were here in 1937, but it was in 41 that a hurricane struck Newtown.
41.
Yes,
Okay.
September of 41.
September 1941. That was 10 years after the 1931 hurricane, right?
Exactly. That destroyed Belize City, mainly. Yes, so as a child, my mother had to go to St. Bite, and I was born there
Okay.
just to shelter. And after a couple of months, 2 or 3 months, they came, and my father found a little shelter for themselves, and here I am up to today.
Okay. A proud Hopkinite. I like this. How you put it? A proud Hopkinite. Now, growing up, you grew up in Hopkins, right?
Right here, right through.
Right in Hopkins. And the village itself, like we have established now, was founded after that 1941 hurricane, when the people from Newtown moved into Hopkins and joined the people from Honduras. Now, the name wasn't Hopkins at that time, right? I think it was
Hopkins. It was Jennenville.
Huh?
Jennenville.
Jennenville. That's the name the Hondurans gave it?
This was given to the settlement or the village by the priest, Catholic priest. But before
that's Father Marin, the same Father Marin, or which
no,
Catholic?
not Father Marin. It was
Father Knapp.
Father Knapp. But before that, the elders had called it. They call it Yugata.
Yugata. What's the meaning of that?
And I am assuming that they call it Yugata because there was, by extreme north end of the village, there was a lady from Yucatan, from from Honduras. Those people came from there. So because they were there and they were the first to live there other than Gulis, I think Gulis may have found her there, or she was the first to live by there. So they called her, they named, I'm assuming that they named it after the place where she was born, where she came from.
Where did she come from?
Uganda. She came from Uganda.
Okay.
So the elders call it Uganda.
Uganda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Similarities in name, as you call them. So that is, they call it Uganda. Up to today, we are looking forward that one day we'll rename it as Uganda.
Uganda.
Yeah, because so many people have, when young people or elders like myself now meet, we would say, one of these days we've got to find a public meeting and ask every Hopkinites to bring back that name, Uganda, to Hopkins.
Now, it was Uganda in what were the years that it was known as Uganda? In what years? From where to when to when?
Yes, most of the time from that time, from 1941 up to recent, we still call it, sometimes we still call it Uganda.
Uganda.
Sometimes when our brothers come from the United States, oh, you're coming back to Uganda, boy. You love this village, Uganda. This is our home. We say we are still using up to today. But it's not the younger people, younger than I do, they do not know. Although we are trying to sell them the idea of how it was named prior to Hopkins.
No, I'm told that it was Father Marin who named it Hopkins of Archbishop Hopkins, Bishop Hopkins, who died in the 1931 hurricane.
Perfect. Jennenville was a name that after Father Marin saw the name written there, Jennenville, he said, no. There was a bishop who traveled to Corazon with 2 nuns, and some storm caught them on the way in the sea and they drowned. So Father Marin renamed it as Hopkins, not Jennenville as Father Knopp had named it. So it has from Uganda, Jennenville, then Hopkins.
Hopkins. Okay. No, I got it right. Okay, Uganda, Jennenville, and Hopkins. And you want to go back to that Uganda?
We want to go back to that Uganda, and we might do that one day. This is a story that we've been telling ourselves, and I think before we die, we will do that. We'll call the government and ask them to change the name to Uganda.
Now, when you were growing up, it was Uganda, right? When it was Jennenville.
No, when I was growing, it is still Hopkins. Because I was yet a little boy when it was named Hopkins.
What year was it named Hopkins?
My father used to tell me that it was from my youth, say from 1948, therein, when those priests came in. That was the time. I think that was the time they started to name it Hopkins, and that name usually doesn't stop. Everybody call it Hopkins. Since then.
What was it like for you growing up in Hopkins?
Oh, growing up in Hopkins, I think there's not a place in the world that would tell me, come and live with me here, come and live on my soil. No other place in this world other than this soil here, where I am growing. I love my village, and that is why I'm trying all my best so that I make sure that every youth, if it is possible, if I have been a millionaire, maybe that will help them to get something, labor, work, so that they will not keep away or go away from the community, so that they stay put in this community. I love it so much. And when I was going with my friends, my classmates, and we are still friends. And every time we meet, we try to think of something, how we can help our children, our grandchildren, our youths, in order to make a better living than how we are making it. We used to say that we will live a little bit higher than our parents. That is what we were focusing on. Because at that time, we were only having local sticks, leaves, and that was our home. And we loved that. It was cool, it was so loving.
So all the houses were made of sticks and thatch.
Yes. During that, it was Hurricane Hattie that destroyed all those houses. The entire village was wiped off.
That's 1961 hurricane.
1961 Hurricane Hattie. So,
But as a young boy growing up in the village, what are some of the memories you may have of that?
oh yes, what we used to do, because hardly we go to the farm with our parents, go to school as a little boy. We go to school, we make sure, because it was only a picado that we had most of the time when we're going home. When it's raining, we have to lift up our pants, or our foot will be wet because of having, it was almost a picado that we are here coming up with. And during the period when they started, according to the history, they had to, when they moved in, people just select anywhere where they want to grow. They chop that is theirs, chop up that, and their toes paid for it, because there were lots of stumps around. So they told us that the toes pay for it. They bled a lot of times, because this was the home of snakes, tigers, and everything during that period when they just moved in. And growing into that, I do not find those here then, because it has become improved a little when I was growing up. Started school in 7 years of that. That's 1948, right here. As an infant, going to primary school in 7 years, because we used to start school at 7 years, not beyond. Only now they start school at 5, but at that time we started school at 7. The priest used to say that is the age of reasoning. So that is the way we started. And we tried our best, and working along with our colleagues, teasing one another by the school. And when we were growing a little bit, we thought of a better life. We sometimes sit, reaching the age of 15, 16, we were thinking of a better life with my colleagues and all whatnot. We would see aside, especially during a holiday, weekends. We would sit aside, you go out fishing, go to the farm with our parents, and we enjoyed that very well. Growing our plantings, rice, we used to plant our own rice, and we pound that. We don't have to buy rice at that time. We were able to go out fishing, take our dory, go to the fishing, go out to the quays. But today, we just can't take our dory and go. It's a different world now.
Well, life started changing after Hurricane Hattie, right? That's a, I got that.
Hopkins.
Then the village started to grow, and the sticks and thatch roofs were replaced with wooden houses.
Exactly. Cement houses. Right when you come in, King Cassava was the first cement building in Hopkins. That was the first cement building in Hopkins. Then another building over yonder, right not far away from there, for later newness. But both of them are newness. One, King Cassava, and the other, they were the first to have cement buildings. And afterwards, since we had no shelters during Hati. We stayed here whole night. No shelter whatsoever.
So the people had nowhere to shelter during Hadi?
No, nowhere.
So how were they saved? Because I understand only two people died.
It was the God of our hearts that saved us. My aunt lived right in that where that cement building is, and she never wanted me to go home. At any time, I have to stay with my cousin Joseph Nunes, and every time I tried to go home, she would go there. And, son, what's the matter? Let's go home. I had to sleep here. So he and I grew together like real brothers, but we are first cousins. And when the hurricane came, we jumped from there and came right into this yard here. And you see that we sheltered whole night. I told him, if I die, you will find my hand. There was a young coconut tree, right where this kitchen behind this.
Okay.
There was a young coconut tree, and I hugged that coconut tree, small coconut tree. I told him, all right, if I am to die, then you'll find my hand here. The body can go, but my hand will stay because I am not moving.
Okay. So you spent the night hugged up to a coconut tree. And I could imagine a lot of other people might have done the same thing because all those houses of stick and thatch might have gone. Yeah,
everything.
Gone.
Yes. And when the water gushed from the back, then we had to run. This very spot I couldn't touch.
The water was so deep.
Water was so deep right here.
Okay, so that would have been more
and I
like
swam,
6 feet of water.
And I swam over to that piece. My neighbors there had a little store, and it was on the higher land, so I went to shelter there. There was a big time tidal wave that came, that lashed into the village. It came from the south.
That's another rush of water.
Yeah, woo! It was mountain was higher than this. The water was higher than this.
Than the post?
Than this wire here.
Than the
Yes.
wire there. My goodness.
When I looked at it from there, I was frightened.
About 15 feet, no?
That's about 15 feet or more.
Yeah, to where the wire is.
That was high, pretty high. When I looked at it, I said, my God, as if there is lots of devil in it. But I was far away, right over here.
How did you brave that water now?
It did not touch me out there. It just go way down where that big house is there where it stopped. When it lash in, right into that yard.
Oh, you saw the 15-foot wall coming towards you?
Yeah. When it lashed in.
Then it lashed, of course. But it did not reach up to where you were?
No, it never reached where I was.
So the water that affected you was the water that came from?
Yes, the water that came from the lagoon.
The lagoon,
Yes, that was the one that affected us. Otherwise, no. And this was raised. Water was raised. But quick thing, very quick thing, it has moved.
Yeah. What happened in the aftermath of Hati? How quick did you get relief?
Well, there was maybe about a week.
A week before you got anything from outside?
Yes. Because what we did, we went to our farms and we find our plantains, and then there were chicken, and we do our thing with that. And of course, 3 days later, they came. They sent somebody to our shores, but the elders were not satisfied with what they were coming to do. To change alcalde, and then the elders say, oh, rather than coming to give us relief and help us, you are now coming to change alcaldes? We have no problem with our alcalde. We have no problem. So if you don't have anything sensible, get out of this village. So they were wild from there. They kicked them out. The people had to go about their business. So they were not doing the right thing, so the elders make sure that they leave the village instant.
And so you got that relief, you said, about a week.
Yes.
It eventually came about a week after.
Doctors came, a lot of people came. doctors, food, all kind of things came. But we had no problem with that then because prior to the couple of days that we were helping ourselves through our plantings, through our farm. Yes.
So then you started working with government. What year did you start working?
1973. I started to teach. 1960.
Here in Hopkins.
Right here in Hopkins. 1963, after Haiti. That's 2 years after Haiti. And for 10 years, I found myself that I am no longer, after taking some exams and all whatnot, and passed through first class teacher and all whatnot, I told myself that I should not, I found myself that I was not so happy anymore in the school. I think I was wasting the children's time. There were occasions when I just write the work on a board for them to do. If they do it, let them do it. If they don't, I don't care. It doesn't matter with me. I said, when I found myself a couple months like that, I said, no. I think the future of my children rests in my hands at this time. And if I want to waste it, then who am I? Let me get out of this because this is not for me anymore. Let me get out of it. Let me find something that I can do. So, lucky for me, I heard about an opportunity in the government's circle, that is the cooperative department, with Mr. Cayetano Silas. And I applied, and lucky for me, I got a job, and I started to work there for so many years, 23 years. And my service with the government is 33 years, 10 years as a teacher, then 23 years as a civil servant.
And then you retired at the retirement age to be 55.
Exactly.
And came back to do farming here in Hopkins. What do you farm in there?
Presently, afterwards I used to do my personal thing, planting my little rice for my house, just for my table, my plantings, my ground food and all whatnot. But I invested some of my strength with my colleagues to form a fishing cooperative.
Okay.
And we got a fishing, it was flowing, the ruin is right about the
I saw the ruins, yeah. So how was that working? You said it was working well?
It was working well at the beginning, but and things were not so good afterwards, where I was transferred from here to Belize City, and although Norman, who was the registrar, put me here as to execute the correct things so that the cooperative could grow. But here comes another one. He said, "Oh no, you got," which was Keith Wright, and he moved me from here, and that was a downfall of the cooperative. It went flat.
In its heydays, how much was the cooperative producing, and how many people were directly connected with it?
Lots. There were about 30 fishermen, and they were fishing only by line. But there isn't a day that you come here in this factory fishing port that you couldn't find beautiful fish, the biggest fish you could ever find. That is why northern fishermen and the other fishing cooperatives, even Placencia, come here to ask us to sell them their catch. Because northern fishermen had very good interest and good rapport with the fishermen, because they were good fishermen. They respected them very well. But during the period, I tried to find someone who knows how to make traps, how to teach them how to catch lobster and all whatnot. And he was successful. We were successful. Now that was the beginning of some of our colleagues to not only to use line, fishing line, but even traps, diving, and all. That was the beginning of the. Although afterwards it was the fishing cooperative dies, but they remained with that, and they are still doing it up to today.
How long did the fishing cooperative last?
It wasn't for a long time. I think it was about 3 to 5 years, and it was all gone.
It was all gone.
It was all gone. Now, but I still believe in cooperativism because then, as a cooperative officer for 23 years, I still live it.
Yeah, of course, of course.
I still live it. Now, I tried to form another farming cooperative to do cereals. This was because also of having to work, and because we need to leave something for our kids. The development of Hopkins is so one of the greatest things that is in my mind. So we formed a cooperative, but we never have monies to buy the necessary equipment that could have prepare the cereals that we are aiming at. We were able to do it manually, but we were able to plant peanuts.
Peanut tree right here.
Uh-huh.
Peanut tree.
10 acres of peanuts, and we produced 12,000 pounds of peanuts. 12,000 pounds, and because then marketing board in Belize City told us as soon as they'll be ready in 3 months, we'll be able to buy it from you. When it was prepared and ready, I went to marketing board and Belize City, and the lady told me, who was responsible, told me, we are not going to buy any peanuts. And she closed the door on my face.
Wow.
And I got so mad, you know. But anyway, at that time, when we reaped the 12 tons, we had already planted again. And we produced 15,000 pounds of peanuts again. Where did we? It was a swamp behind here that enjoyed most of those peanuts because they got rotten and we have to dump them in the market. But during the period, I was very busy, all alone, and say, what are we going to do with these peanuts? Are we just going to waste them like that? I said, one day I was at home with my family. We are not living here, we were living to the front there. And something got into my mind. I saw it up there. And I was waking up with that story in my mind. And I told them, look, go get this, go get milk, go get that, go get the other. They went on and we started. They told me, what are you going to do? I said, you are here, just watch me what we are going to do. You and we are going to do it. And I took the rice, I took the peanuts, I took some ginger. Of course, these are ground and mixed afterwards. And I told them, make up the fire, we're going to do something. So we prepared a nice cereal, food out of it. I told them, after we have prepared it, I will be the first one to taste. If I die, don't eat it. Let me die, I'll be the only one to die. So I said, all right. After 5 minutes, after I ate it, it was
still
so
there, no?
good. I was still alive. I was still even stronger.
Yeah, okay.
So I told him, go ahead and taste. I called my neighbor. Neighbor, come and see with me. Here is a cup of something, cereal for you. You say, cereal? I told him, taste it. When she tasted it, where did you buy this? I said, no, this is not bought anywhere. Oh no, man, you like to run joke, man. You like to run joke. come. Tell me where you buy so that I can buy some for myself. I said, this is prepared here, right in this house. Right in this house is here.
Crops you're growing.
So she enjoyed it very well, and I prepared a little bit more the following day, and I gave her. All my colleagues, all the farmers, I made a big pot, and I called them and said, come, enjoy yourself. He said, where do you get this? I told him, it is out of the same peanuts that you have grown. It's come out of it. It is your own product that is doing this. Are you not so proud? They say, sure, never. How can it be never? And you are saying you're going to enjoy it. Come, take a cup each and fill your cups. One day, man, everybody was jubilant. So we tried it too. As a matter of fact, we gave Belize City Hospital 250 pounds, manual work. And then on agricultural shows, we used to sell a little bit, advertise it. And here we are today. After so many years, we have found a little help. Right now in the farm, we have a building that is not yet complete, but it's on the way for it to. We'll be planting some acres of peanuts, some acres of rice, and different varieties so that a factory will be built in Hopkins to produce cereal.
Okay, very good.
We'll be rice cereal, we'll be producing cassava cereal, we'll be producing dasheen cereals.
Very interesting.
So
Very good.
this is our aim now. As a matter of fact, when you were just coming and approaching here, I was talking to the secretary, asking him what had been done, and that we have to push forward so that we can do as many as we could. We'll plant a lot of cassava. We have more visits to do with our neighboring villages other than the Hopkins. Our neighboring villages, we have to include them into because we need a lot of products like rice, like corn, not corn, sorry, cassava. We need a lot of cassava, sweet cassava especially, and dasheen. So we will be encouraging those people to do that.
That's a good story. That's a good story and a success story by all means. To see that it has blossomed into what you're telling me, right? And I want to wish you success with this new Belizean industry.
This will, and we are fighting straight to do it well, and it will. We don't want it to die, and that is why we are taking our time. Slowly, we see our mistakes. We ask someone who knows better than we do. We adapt to what he or she told us to do, and then we move forward, little by little.
Well, keep us posted on the progress you make.
Well,
please.
I will.
Yeah.
I will talk to Gwen.
Yes.
And she is not doing well, but she is doing. She was operated on, I think, yesterday, the day before.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. She will not tell you, but she's my niece.
Okay.
So anything they ring me and inform me. But she's at home. She is doing well right now.
A good friend of mine, man. I want to say hi to Gwen. Yeah, man. I light up and tell Gwen ring me. I light up. I'm like, okay, yeah. You know?
I know. So this is the big aim that we are having at this time. We are hoping that by the end of the year, that building will be completed and we may open it. And if the time comes for inauguration, I will call you.
Okay. Sure, man. I'd very much like to come to be a part of that because it's Belizean and that's what I like. That it's Belizean and definitely anything Belizean. Well, I'm very proud of being a Belizean and anything my fellow Belizeans do. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy to hear that's going on. I also saw when I was visiting a while ago at Mr. Arana some drawings of a tomato factory. The tomato must be more likely catch up. So it shows that things are happening wrong here in Hopkins. There's some creativity going on here in this village. And what I like too is that a lot of the villages are getting smaller, but Hopkins is getting bigger. You see construction all over the place. I was noticing that.
There's a day that passed that you don't see any building constructed. Since that time, every day you see. some people will say, my God, I was here 5 years ago. So many buildings. I see.
Yeah, right in
Just
front of your house,
I
there's
used
a
to,
building being
go when I
developed.
get my breeze coming in, but now block the
Yeah.
breeze from.
It blocks the breeze. Right? And then look, this one was just recently finished,
Yes,
obviously.
recently. Yeah.
And so
That's
we have
about 2
noticed a
months
lot of
ago.
new construction going up in the village.
Village. More everywhere. Backward to the east, there's everywhere. Lots of constructions going on. And Hopkins has gone a long way. And but we are not yet finished because I want to see the fishermen also executing something that is good for themselves. But there I know that someday the present fishermen won't be able to go to the sea. Getting old, the sea can do you a lot of harm, but whilst you are in the land, you can stay a little bit longer. Your health is much more stronger on the land than in the sea. So this is why we are trying to encourage those who are by the sea, going as fishermen, to find something that they can do at this time while they are still strong.
Do you have young people who are picking up fishing and farming like the older folks? Or you find that there are people not into that?
Because fishing is a faster money, so that they prefer going to fishing, not farming. But we are still encouraging one of them. You say one okra will fill the basket. So we are still encouraging some. Now I am talking with the teachers, principal teacher. As a matter of fact, we'll be building. We are building. You can see by the school there, a table to garden. This is what we are hoping to get. Table to garden. Punta Gorda has started. They have come to talk to us. So we are encouraging the school so that we'll take our kids sometimes out of school to go to the garden in the farm, as well as there'll be a garden, big time garden by the school to produce, so that we teach them right by the grounds there how they can grow tomato, how they can grow that right by the school. Wow. The stuff soon be coming, but the frame is there already, so that we can start doing that.
Because I think in our school system we have really moved away from teaching agriculture and the appreciation of the land, of the use of land, and I think and that has contributed a lot to where we are today as a nation. I think we moved away from teaching our people to the need to till our soil.
Now, I'm very well conscious that not every child wants to be a bookworm.
Yeah.
Some cannot read. Some do not want to stay as puppets for other people. He prefers to work for himself sometimes. Now, having to learn other trades, maybe fishing, maybe farming, carpentry, and other things, that's a very good real thing for people to learn so that they can have their bread prepared. So this is what I am trying to do with the teachers, with the children, our youths who are coming out of schools, so that they can have the choice whether to go to high school or go to the farm or to the farm or to the sea. They make their own choice.
Where the fish sold? To the resorts here or?
To the resorts and in the community.
In the community.
In the community too. We buy a lot of fish. Sometimes when we do not, we have to go to Dangriga to buy fish.
Oh, yeah? Wow.
Like today, we don't have fishermen today. When they came, only a few fish. People, as soon as the people just look in the fish gone, finished. So those of us who are not around cannot get any. So this morning I went to Dangriga and had to buy some fish for myself today.
Okay.
So this is what we are trying to encourage our youths, our children, our grandchildren to do.
Yeah, you have spoken to me about the past, the present, and the Hopkins, because you're saying the future is in the youth and what you do. Is there any message you have from Hopkins to Belize?
Well,
To the rest of Belize?
we are hoping that we find ourselves in peace and harmony among ourselves, because that is one great thing. When we respect, love, and understand ourselves, we live in peace, in harmony in this community, in this world, and in Belize. The lots of tragedies that I heard every day happening in this country hurts me very well, because there is not love and understanding, respect of oneself and others. That will keep Belize growing. And I would love that Belize grow into that, rather than looking at you, hating you. Hate is not the word to correct Belize, but love will grow, make Belize grow better.
We will have the final segment of our visit to Hopkins Village, which first aired in August 2011. We take a break to hear from our partners, Honorable Kevin Bernard and DeBarry.
In a town where dreams meet reality, where progress takes center stage, a transformation is underway. Get ready to experience a journey like no other. Introducing the long-awaited paving of Santa Familia Street and Tangerine Street. The wait is over and the future is here. Works have commenced and there's no stopping now. Under the visionary leadership of the Honorable Kevin Bernard, Orange Walk Town East is witnessing an incredible transformation. Honorable Kevin Bernard, a true champion of progress, has made it his mission to enhance the lives of the community he serves. And now, in partnership with the Orange Walk Town Council and the Ministry of Infrastructure Development and Housing, this dream is becoming a reality. This partnership signifies a commitment to excellence, a commitment to the people. Together, they are paving the way for a brighter future, creating infrastructure that will stand the test of time. Imagine smooth, well-lit streets designed to connect communities, businesses, and families. Santa Familia Street and Tangerine Street will become the vibrant arteries of Orange Walk Town East, pulsating with life and opportunity. No longer will we face the challenges of potholes and uneven surfaces. Our town is evolving with the Honorable Kevin Bernard leading the charge. More incredible projects are on the horizon. From improved infrastructure to innovative community initiatives, the future of Orange Walk East constituency is looking brighter than ever before. Moving the East forward with Kevin Bernard. Get ready for a new era of growth and improvement. Together, we are building a better future for all. Orange Walk Town, where dreams become a reality.
We are DeBarry, offering you great products, good service, and of course, the lowest prices in the entire country. Visit us in Belize City, Belmopan, San Ignacio Cayo, Orange Rock, and now in San Pedro, La Isla Bonita. DeBarry. Get more? Belize.
I've stopped by King Cassava, a restaurant and bar here in Hopkins for lunch. And with me is the king himself, King Cassava. You had a name to call you King Cassava? Or I just,
Yes, man.
or I
Well,
just jump on that name like that because the place say King Cassava?
yes, the name of the place is King Cassava, but my real name is Mark Nunes.
Uh-huh.
You know, and I've been in this business for over 12 years.
Uh-huh.
You know, and it's a challenge. And as an entrepreneur, you know, for the last couple of years, we put in a lot of work.
Uh-huh.
And 2006, we become a award winner,
Which way award you win there?
the Small Vendors of the Year 2006.
Oh, yeah? Oh,
Yes.
Congratulations.
You know, and it's a blessing to have that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as an entrepreneur, as a local person, which I wish there would be more young people like us taking the challenge.
Oh, of course.
You
I'd
know?
like to see that myself. But Mark, tell me, this place I was told, this building that houses King Cassava, this area was the first cement structure that was built in Hopkins. How did you come by this place?
Okay, you know, it's a family thing. You know, my dad used to own this place. That time there was no roads, no electricity, no water, no cable. So it was just a garbage site after he died. So when I take it over, I put in a lot of work to it. So it becomes the place that you see what it is right now.
Okay.
You know,
What was it like in the early years when you started?
man, the early
12
years,
years ago.
it was one of the best here. King Cassava was a small little business, but very effective because at that time the tourism was really up to its peak. That everyone in the village could make something, you know, and that inspired me to keep growing and building and put more into it and create a landmark for Hopkins itself. You know, so if this is the first structure, so this is the landmark of Hopkins.
Yes, of
You
course.
know, and my job is to keep it alive, especially in the cultural aspect. You know, we entertain, we do a lot of entertainments here. You know, in the music wise, we do karaoke, we do food. We have a great restaurant here. You know, and we offer different services like if you want to go on tours, we give you information to what kind of tours you want to go on. You know, so we hooked up along with all the different guides that we have here, so we work as a group.
Okay.
You know, so what we need right now, we need more support in this village, especially in the tourism sector, so people could have more access and traveling to our area, especially roads. We are very pleased to hear the road will get fixed. So that will help us a lot. So we look forward to that.
You said you like more young people to become entrepreneurs like yourself. What do the young people do mostly here in Hopkins?
In Hopkins itself, we have different people, like people who work in the tourism sector. We have people who still do farming. We have a couple more fishermen. So we still try to keep a cultural part of Hopkins itself.
Now tell me, tourism. You said in the heyday of tourism, making it sound like if it's not growing, is it growing or is it a bit stagnant at this time?
Well, at this time it's really, really stagnant because most of the local business are not getting enough support because we have some big resorts, but most of their packaging is exclusive.
Okay.
So once they pay all their money, they don't need to come out, you know. So we need people who going to stay. So if we could get more backpackers and people who going to spend more time in the village, as at least a week, that they could go around and support all the local business, I think we'll do fairly well.
Because there are quite a number of resorts that have grown up around Hopkins, right? Like Hamanasi, and I can't remember the amount, but there are quite a number of resorts of what I'm seeing.
Definitely, and these resorts, as I said, they are exclusive, so they don't really support the village a lot.
So unless somebody wants to come to town to have something to get some of the culture life or so, then
they will come out.
Then they come out.
Most of the time, they hired people to go and play at the resorts, so the people doesn't come out. So if it would be good if we could make some kind of adjustment for that, that the local people could benefit more out of the resorts and do better.
So it's not that less tourists are coming; it's just that the way the style has changed, basically.
Style have changed. So as an entrepreneur, that teaches me
But you need
that
to change as
I
well,
need
right?
to change and go along with
That's it.
how it goes, the flow of it, you know. So that's another challenge to grow along with it.
So you might need to take your business to the resort.
Probably, but I don't think that, you know.
I'm not kidding.
I always believe, you know, as a local person, we got to be strong, you know, and that's the main objective, to be strong and keep the culture itself alive. You know, so King Cassava is a place that most people come to enjoy entertainment.
Did you give it the name King Cassava, or was it the era name Cassava or King Cassava? How did the name King Cassava come about?
All right, King Cassava come about because we look at the traditional people them, you know, as a Garifuna person. king cassava is one of our traditional meal.
Yeah, cassava is, yeah.
Cassava. So they have two types of cassava. They have the king cassava, which is a big thick cassava,
Okay.
that feels really strong, and they have the cassava bread, which is a thin one. So as a roots person, we say, man, we got to call this place King Cassava to keep the culture itself and just a representation of the culture.
Because I hear people around here calling you King Cassava, so I thought that you could.
No, it's just the name of the place,
but,
and just the name itself really catching, you know.
And it has held on to you.
Yes. Become my name now, but that's okay, you know. And I'm feel proud to even have the business. I feel blessed to have something like this, and it's a lot of work, and you just have to persevere through the hard times along with it.
I was looking at your menu just now, and I'm impressed with the wide variety of food that you offer here at King Cassava.
Definitely, we offer different type of food for everyone. You know, everybody who comes here, they could look at the menu. If they don't see what they want, they could ask, and we could see what we could do for them. We try to satisfy every customer that comes here.
Okay, your message to young people like yourself.
Well, never give up. You know, try to learn as much talent as you can, because to be an entrepreneur, it takes a lot of talent. You got to know how to do most of everything in your business to let it grow. You know, so my advice to them is to learn as much skill as they can. You know, because you got to be a plumber, you got to be a mechanic, you got to be everything, even clean the bathroom. You know, and if you have those kind of skill, you could be entrepreneur.
And
So
just remember what you learn, nobody takes it away from you, right?
you got it right. So that's my advice to the young people, you know. Try to enroll in different organizations. That first-hand experience would be one of the main key. And inspired for their goals. You know, you got to know what you want to do. You got to say, well, this is what I could do. So you try to do it as the best as you can and be a professional in what you want to achieve.
Well, Mark King, right?
Yes.
Mark King, proprietor of King Cassava. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to enjoying some of your food right now.
Why not? And for all the local Belizeans, Americans, foreigners, everyone, King Cassava is the stop to stop. So please feel free to come and enjoy the culture with us and enjoy Hopkins in a whole, because it's a beautiful village. This is the last destination.
All right.
Okay, so we look forward to see most Belizeans travel to Hopkins.
Step. Oh yeah, sorry. I thought you were saying a new step. I was like, oh. No. Let's try. One, two, three, go.
All right. And so we're getting drumming classes here.
Yes.
And who are you?
I'm Rob.
And where are you from, Rob?
I am from Colorado.
What brought you here to Belize? The beauty of the country? What brought you here?
Yes, the beauty of the country and all the exciting things to do here with my wife.
Oh,
I think
here's the wife. She
she's
disappeared.
hiding from the camera.
Oh my goodness. How long have you been here?
We've been here, I think, 6 days.
Uh-huh. How much more days before you leave?
We leave on Sunday.
You leave on Sunday. Wow, you're leaving paradise, man. You know?
I'm excited for Hopkins Day. So.
Okay, so you're gonna. That's why you're practicing too.
Oh yeah, I gotta come out and hear all the music. Yeah.
And so you're getting some classes here.
Yes, getting
And
some
how
classes.
the classes been going? How have the classes been going?
I don't know how have my classes been going.
For you. How was
For
it
me,
been?
they've been great. Yes.
For you, they've been great.
Yeah.
All right. When I met you, you said you're a musician yourself.
Yes.
What instrument do you play?
I play trombone.
This is quite different from playing the trombone, right?
Very, very different.
Well, it's good to see you learning the culture.
Yes.
I'm happy to see that.
I'm enjoying it.
Right. Keep on enjoying Belize, man.
Will do.
Okay. Did you get to go other places beside Hopkins?
Oh, we were in San Ignacio for 4 days before we came out here.
Hopkins is a lovely spot.
Oh, wonderful.
I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. And now let me get to know this. The young man, your instructor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm the teacher.
You're the teacher.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this teaching?
Well, I've been playing drums for 10 years now.
10? You mean they play drum for 5 years old?
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Lot.
How old are you?
I don't want to say that on the media.
Why, man? You know? You look like you're 15 to me, so.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm still young then.
So, you learned to play the drum. Who taught you to play drums?
Well, myself and I was just starting to play drums when I was young. I started from my house, and then my uncle owned a drumming center, so he bought some drums when I was small, and from there I practiced on my own. And me and him plays together now. Yeah, Jabbar.
Okay, where your uncle there?
Uncle Jabbar.
Uncle Jabbar. That's Uncle Jabbar.
They call him Boya Tio.
Boya Tio. All right. And now tell me, 12 years playing the drum. How many years teaching?
Well, I just started teaching from 2006. Now it's 2012 now, so it's been a while now.
Now, how do you go about teaching somebody to play the drum? And I'll talk to your uncle in a short while. But how do you go about teaching somebody like teaching? You know, how was he like? What was he like when you first met him?
Well, when I first met him, he said he was a musician, so I knew that this guy will learn really fast. He will learn really fast. So I start from the basic. I start really slow, then I go fast with them. So I've already taught teach this guy how to play punta, paranda, hugu, and chumba. So yeah, that's so like you see while I'm sitting here, he will be right there, and then I start first, and then this guy goes afterwards.
How many hours a day have you had him, and for how long?
It's only for 1 hour.
And he's learned so fast?
Yeah, he's good. He's good. Yeah.
No, can he do something on his own, or you have to walk him through?
No, he can try the punta. Remember the punta, brother?
Let's see him try the punta, see how well he has learned. No, you're going to take this back to Colorado, you said, right? You're going to take this back to... You're carrying... But you're going to take... You're taking a drum back with you?
I'm not sure. I don't know if I have a lot of room, but I've thought about it. I've already asked my wife. She's the final decision maker.
Because then you can become the real drummer for your orchestra, or the band you play with, right?
You know, I do play a lot of salsa music, but I don't play any percussion, so... Yeah.
Remind me your name.
Well, my name is Warren. I'm Warren Martinez.
Okay, Juan Martinez.
Warren
Martinez. Warren Martinez. Now, Warren, if I would come to you for drumming lessons, what would be the first thing you would show me?
Well, the first thing I'll show you is the paranda.
All right.
Yeah, and then from paranda I go to punta. Now, if you're having trouble, then I'm gonna stay with you for a little while until you learn how to play paranda before I go to punta.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how I do it here.
Okay, what's the difference between the paranda and the punta? I mean, I know, but just for camera purposes.
All right, the The punta, you will go fast, and then the paranda a little bit slow. The paranda is, and then the punta go fast. 1 and 2. Yeah. So that's what I'm teaching this guy. Yeah, and then this guy is doing really good. So I'm proud of myself, and I'm proud of my student. Yeah.
So, what the past 6 years, about how many people you have taught, and just an estimate, a guesstimate there?
Wow, like a lot. Like mostly Jabbar do the lessons, but I just started, but I teach about I don't know, like 100 and odd tourists. Yeah. And then I don't remember all the names of my students. So yeah, sometimes they meet me and they say, remember you're the guy who taught me how to play drum, but I didn't remember. Yeah, because it's so much of them. Yeah. Yep, that's how we do it here.
Well, I'm impressed, really, Warren, to see a youngster like yourself really teaching tourists to play the drum. And I guess I'll have to come and learn myself, because I don't know if I play a drum, but I don't have much rhythm anyway. You could teach people to have rhythm, forget on rhythm?
Yes, man. Sure. Well,
how does a person have a rhythm go about getting a rhythm?
Well, first of all, mostly I'm gonna hold your hands first. If you don't have no rhythm, I'm gonna hold your hands so you can bounce together, and then from there you can teach on your own until you learn. Yeah.
And how long it would take an average person to learn to play one or two of the
good rhythm?
Good rhythms.
It will take like a month. A month. 2 weeks. 2 weeks said 2 weeks. But in a month time he will be good. Yeah.
And you teach both drums, the primero and segunda?
Yes, sir. Teach both of them.
Okay. Well, let you go ahead with your classes, man. And thank you so much for talking with me.
Yes,
and I'm happy that you are learning to play Garifuna drums. I hope you get a drum and take it back and play it in your band. That would be fine.
Definitely.
Right?
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay. Good. Continue enjoying. Yeah. All right. Senor Hector Lambe.
Yeah, that's my
right?
name. Not Hector. You know the one from, I'm Hector Lambe. But do you know us? Hector Lambe.
Lambe.
Yeah.
All right. But no, it's Jabbar.
No, Jabbar.
Tell me how you started this.
Well, I started this drumming like 2003. We started, I was, this is the Garifuna village, so I was traveling a little bit too. I go to Europe and United States, see how to hustle a little bit. But I come back home and I know this is the place to be. I got to stay here, and I want to say this is the Garifuna village. So I want to, I start to get those boys together. Those are my cousins. I all live in this hood. Okay. I know they were good because I tried to train them. They were 6 years old.
Okay.
When they're 6, and I know those guys are aggressive. I know they could do something. Yeah. And I say, man, let's try to bring them together. Hey, you're saying something, Garifuna, let's come together and let's try to do something, because this is going to happen, one day it's going to be, slowly, one day will be, one day will be payday, let's fight for ourselves,
And the acceptance has been...
The acceptance has been, I think to me, just be with them and us, we fighting, and if they keep up like that, I think it's going to be successful.
So you yourself, when did you learn to play the drums?
Well, that's a good one. Well, when I learned this drumming, but before, the elders are always playing drums. Since they were, our ancestors were here already. Yeah. They were here, and our elders were there, and we got to learn through them. Because we have to learn through those people before we get to be our class too right now. Because without them, because they haven't drum before us too. So we study them. Sometimes they had little tricks sometimes. Because sometimes when they know you're a little kid, they try to, hey, it's not your area, get out. But we still continue, we still peeping from far. Yeah. I just want the basic on the hands, what they're doing, and when they say we go, one day we're going to do it. All right. So, but first of all, thanks that you and the media here. Thanks.
I'm happy to be here.
Thank you with everybody.
My pleasure being here with you.
First time in Love here, Drumming Center, man, that's appreciated, and thanks to be here with us today. And yeah, this is
I
the
still,
first interview here.
I still take your drum and we're play something for you. Or?
Oh yeah, we will.
Okay.
Yeah, anytime we will play a little punta, something hard, slow, whatever you want. And then things like that. But the point is, then the best one, since I run this place for 3, but we try doing it on our own. So we don't want to worry about the government. So we fighting ourselves. From 2003, we're still trying to do it ourselves, no? Till people recognize us, but up to now, nobody. We're still doing our own thing right now in the drumming center. So we are still fighting for ourselves. So
well, I'm happy that you invited me to come here, and I'm happy to be here in Hopkins and to see what you're doing. And I want to commend you for the work you're doing, because teaching people to play drums is very important. That's the way the culture lives on, and that's the way you do the cross culture thing. Where we have our good friend from Colorado now going to take back a drum with him and play in his orchestra.
Yeah, because the students around here too. See my students. He's a Tata now too. I give him the ropes. He took the ropes. So now he's a Tata now. And I appreciate that. Not because I'm a teacher. It's good one of your students will be the famous model. I love that. Lift it up. Keep it up.
That's the way you live on.
Yeah, that's why I'm living up. Because it's not I'm not living on the drum because I have my huts out there.
Oh, you have a
yeah, I got little huts. I got a little business too. I got my huts out there and so too. But, it's good to have the youth around, because now it's a holiday, nothing much to do around this village. So, they come around, but it's a lot of them around. But sometimes I can't take all of you guys. But it's not the point. But it's too much for me. But it's good.
Okay. Well, I'll let you play something for us, and then.
I want you to dance, Mr. Ray.
I can't dance, man. I can't. I'll have a rhythm.
I see you got a little rhythm over here. I see that rhythm right now. Warren.
So who else you have here?
Yeah, those are the primary school little youth.
You are little youth. What's your name?
Aaron Castillo.
And you are on training?
Not really, sir.
So what you're doing here? Learning to play the drums? What you?
Their hands moving.
But you can play the drum already? Play something for me. I see how good you are. Okay, how old are you?
12 years old.
What school are you going to?
Whole family school.
Tell me a bit about your family. Tell me about your family a little bit.
My mom is chef at Beaches and Dreams. My father is a mathematician. Love to build house. Right now we're on building a house for a lady. My rest of family, my aunt is police. My aunts work at touch key at the keys. My uncle is a taxi driver.
And you, what will you be when you grow up?
I want to be like my father.
Mathematician. All right. So you play the drum mathematically. Well, congratulations, man, and all the best. So you're enjoying yourself doing this during the summer holidays, right?
Yes, sir.
How about your other friends? You talk to your other friends about it, or they come around, or with you?
No, sir.
Well, you want to invite them? You could use this medium for invite your little friends to come along and spend time with you playing drums.
There's one of my friends,
Oh,
sir.
what is there? Okay.
He's one of my closest friends I ever have, sir.
Okay, what's his name?
Jason Arana.
Okay, Jason Arana. All right. And he plays
Drums
as well. Notice you go to school too?
Yes, sir.
Which school you go?
Holy Family.
Holy Family? What grade you did?
Huh?
What standard you did?
Standard 6.
So they graduate the same way. He said you're a mathematician. What you want to be?
Same thing.
You want to be a mathematician too?
Yes, sir.
How far advanced are you in the drum playing?
I don't know.
You can play something? Make I hear you play, man. Make I see how good you do. Make I see how good you do. Alright? Which one I drum you use this Primero? Yeah, man, use the Primero. Alright. Alright. Make we hear you now. All right. Very good. Lovely, lovely, lovely. All right. So what we have now?
Where we put the big one.
It'll be a big session, a big jam session. Just coming around, getting to know everybody, and you are. What's your name?
Alexander Figueroa.
Alexander Figueroa from Hopkins.
No, Griga.
From Griga.
Yeah,
So we do the Hopkins then.
Well, Hopkins Day.
They adopt you? Hopkins adopt you?
I'm just passing through Hopkins for Hopkins Day.
All right. And you know.
Jabbar, I know all them.
Jabbar, you know Jabbar? How long you know Jabbar now?
I know Jabbar through the industry musically. Long time, 18 years, from 1983, 82.
All right. Long time for true. All right, so you play turtle shell, right?
Yeah.
But I missed the singing with a guitar a while ago. And
But this is my main instrument, turtle shell.
Turtle shell.
Yeah.
Why you select the turtle shell? Why?
Say again?
Why did you select turtle shell as your main instrument?
Because I'm a lead instrument, and then this is the first only instrument that combined with the Garifuna drums.
Okay. I know this is original because I can remember the turtle shell band started off and then ventured off into Punta Rock and that kind of thing there. Right, with the Pen Cayetano and the guys there, right? I know that part there, but they're wrong. But and I know each shell have a different song depending where you hit it. So maybe you could just for illustration purposes show with the different songs when you hit it, right?
Player and I'm right-handed.
Okay.
So you have to search for it, right?
I think we're going to blend everything together.
It's supposed to shift up the...
Yeah.
Put everything together, we sound good.
Yeah.
All right. So we are doing a jam right now.
I do a paranda music.
Okay.
One, boom. 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, Hector, Jabbar, I really enjoyed myself just now. Thank you for that wonderful drumming, man, and thanks for what you're doing here in for our country, keeping the culture alive and keeping things going, man. This is great.
Yeah.
So you're at La Beja,
Yeah.
Beach Cabanas, and
we have
drum.
we have beach cabanas also. This is the name of the. We got this one here, and we got some on the beach. So we
Okay.
call it Lebea Beach Cabanas, and this one here, and the beach.
What's the meaning of the name La Beja?
Lebea means at the end. I
end.
thought that when I started, like when I was starting here, 2000, what do you say, 2000? No, 93. Let's say we said 93, 94. I thought, man, I thought they were going to be the end here.
Yeah.
But never this place we're going to be expanded now. You know, look now, man.
expanded.
I don't know where I'm down. Where I don't know.
Hopkins,
I don't know the middle now. So that's what they call the Lebeha. That's the Garifuna. Yeah, Garifuna name. Yeah, Garifuna. Yeah, that's the Garifuna. Lebeha.
The beach cabanas, and so how you on the beach, you said, and how what's the price of staying in a beach
Yeah,
cabana?
yeah, we got the prices in the beach cabana. We got for 140, we got for 98, and there we got more access there closer to the sea.
Okay.
I know it's more, you know, we got Wi-Fi, everything was there for people.
full
Yeah,
works,
everything
so
full works for
full
people.
works in
Enjoyed it there. And then right there, you're supposed to come next time. That's why you got call you.
Yeah.
Come on, you know, come on. I will give you more culture. Come for the 19th of November.
All right, definitely. 665
Yeah, 6 your
93
call,
odd
yeah,
5.
yeah, call this.
665 93 odd 5.
Yeah, that's
665 93 odd 5.
right.
What I didn't memorize the number so I could call you, right?
Yeah.
And if I can put it on my
You
phone
could,
directly.
Put it on the beach, cabanas, more culture down there.
man,
Stuff
no,
like that. And
definitely.
this one is like you see, those are domes. Right
Yeah.
there. Those are cheap one. Those are 30. So this one just 50 because you got this little private
Okay.
bath.
Okay.
And those one you got to use separate bath, like
Okay.
you know, share outside bath and stuff like that. Yeah.
Now, for drumming classes.
Yeah,
How
drumming
does
classes.
one register for drumming
Yeah,
classes?
drumming classes. Everybody comes in, they book in with us and say that the drumming classes for hour for a piece we charge like $30 Belize dollars.
Per hour?
Yeah, per hour
per session.
per session. Whatever they want. If they want longer, we charge more.
Okay.
Yeah, because
And anybody can just drive up and.
Everybody can drive up and see it. 'Cause we got the signs up there. People say, "Oh, this is a place. Oh, drumming lessons." They see what signs up there.
No. For the person coming to Hopkins for the first time, you come straight into Hopkins. Give me some directions as you come in off the main road into Hopkins.
Okay, you come into the north. You come into the north, like, you come in. So when you come in by King Kasawa there, this is going to, you're going to reach us right here.
Okay.
Like this is a mile and a half. It's a mile and a half. You will get
from King Kasawa.
King Kasawa, the entrance.
The entrance.
Coming in, and this is right here.
So you just take your
Yeah, you
left,
come
right?
to come to the north.
Take a left and head north.
Yeah, you head to the north, then you will see what's sign the drumming center. Then we yeah, right here.
All right. Well, I want to thank you. Anything else you want to say?
Well, I'm glad to say thank you the media to be here with us. And this is the first time you're hearing since we opened this drumming center. Yeah, it's awesome. And
It'll not be the last time for sure because I think I might have to learn to play drums.
Yeah, bring all the family, bring everybody.
Yeah.
We were ready for.
So I could get some rhythm.
But once you could dance.
Yeah, but I can't do that. I dance in between the beat, boy. So, you know. But I'm learn it sooner or later.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, media, to be with us. Yeah, but this is the first time. We're happy that you're the first time. Yeah,
I could see it.
Yeah,
I could see it.
I'm happy. Yeah.
All the best, Jabbar. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Jabbar Lambe. So we got
Jabbar Lambe.
Call us and
yeah,
we'll be here. Lebeha.
This has been Belize Watch Revisited as we looked back at our 2011 visit to Hopkins Village. Thanks for listening.
Belize Watch. Knowledge of the past, impacting the present, building the future.
Celebration time. It don't matter what part of the jewel they come from. You and me. But guess what? All are we the one.